Welcome back to another episode of WJAG-TV.
I'm Havivah Saltz.
And I'm Olivia Duever.
And this is WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.
Today's episode is a little more sports-centric. First up, the WJAGs, who have new coaches this year. Let's go to Joseph Becker with more information.
The WJAGs are the Cedar Shoals swim team under the direction of the new coaches, Coach Basil and Coach Ian.
This is my first year coaching, ever. I love being at Cedar Shoals. I think it's a really great school. I think the students are incredible. It can be challenging, it can be exhausting, but the reward is so great.
While Coach Basil handles the main coaching aspects for the swim team, Coach Ian is the morale coach in charge of practice plans and team spirit.
At Cedar Shoals, this is actually my first year. They brought me in along with Coach Basil this year. So first year, so things are going well.
This dedication for the sport will carry senior Eli Hogan into the college-level world of swimming.
I've been swimming on Cedar Shoals swim team for about 3 to 4 years. I would like to continue my swimming career into college. I got to work on some things to be able to make myself go faster and improve my times. But overall, yeah, I'd like to continue my swimming career into college.
Even though their training schedule is rigorous, Coach Ian has noticed their dedication to the sport and their perseverance.
I love coaching here. Yeah, the kids are great. They're dedicated to the sport. They made a lot of progress over the last month, and so we're really excited to see where things go from here.
The WJAGs continue to practice hard and are well on their way for competing this Saturday in Forsyth County.
Yeah, I swim in the slow lane, so I have to motivate myself to move up a lane, and so it's that motivation that I'm trying to teach to my swimmers. And so I think that with me going through it every morning that I can encourage them.
On February 1st of 2019, the WJAGs will be competing in a state of Georgia swim meet. So keep it up, WJAGs.
Looks like it'll be a good season for the swim team.
You know, football had a great season. One of the players, Jamal Boyd, is very talented and has earned a lot of achievements. Ansley Gunterman had a chance to meet Jamal and find out more about what he's accomplished.
Jamal Boyd is a senior on the varsity football team. When dealing with school and sports, it can be hard, but Jamal is a dedicated student athlete with his eyes set on playing for the NFL.
Jamal is he's very hardworking.
Hard work.
I say an athlete because he can really play any sport and any position on the football field.
He's just a great athlete and it shows on the field.
I say he a leader is because he knows when it's a time to play and when it's not a time to play.
He's a good leader and role model for the team. He always holds me accountable, other players accountable. He makes sure that we stay on the grind.
But those are some qualities that make him a good leader as well. He can lead and others follow him too.
He shows us how to stay on top of your grades while being still a Division I athlete.
He leads by example. He does the things we ask him to do as far as his play on the field, and that's leadership enough.
He's not more obligated to be all in your face. He can if he needs to, but he really won't. He just shows you what you need to do, and you kind of just clean behind him. You
have to be disciplined. He has to go home and do his homework when others don't do theirs, and you got to be dedicated to your craft.
Playing for Coach Wright, you have to be here early in the morning, then you be here late at night. You still have to go home and get your schoolwork done. So if you can get that done, then you'll be able to do anything.
Academically, you have to dedicate yourself as well. You have to study. You have to do the things that require you to be successful in the same thing in sports.
The scholarship opportunities that Jamal has received are not just because of his football skills. Jamal knows that to be successful, his schoolwork and doing well in college are as important as his work on the field.
He deserved the scholarships and things because he worked for them, day in and day out.
Simply getting a scholarship tells them that I'm pretty good, and knowing that I can do something myself helps keep me up. Knowing that all my hard work paying off and that I'm good enough means a lot to me. Academic-wise, I want to keep my grades up, of course, because without my academics, I can't play. Knowing that I got football, it made me keep my grades up. And It got me into college. It just helped me keep my head on, knowing that where I want to be, like in the NFL, knowing that it's only one way to get there is through college. Like, in order to get to college, I gotta have grades and be pretty good on the field. If you want to succeed in life and get to your goals, if you have NFL goals or college goals, then you gotta have the student part in there first.
Jamal works so hard so that he can ensure his future. He practices every day, setting little goals for himself, getting closer to being on top. Jamal balances his life so that he can be successful all around.
Personal goals, my only goal is make it to the NFL. But that's one goal alone has like a lot of under goals. Each goal is like a different level. So like your grades, then you got practice, you gotta work hard at practice. Next day, get up, grades, practice. It's like a back and forth process. Like every day it's a grind. If I got free time in class, I do homework, get over it, 'cause I know I gotta sleep at night in order to practice next day. So you just gotta get your work in wherever you get it in at. My mom, she encouraging me every day. Like she tell me what I need to do, what I don't need to be doing, that I know what kind of person I am, what I'm interested in, what I'm not, and don't try to be somebody I'm not. I don't do stuff alone. Like if I'm going to the field, I'm encouraged like my teammates to come work out with me, do something with me.
He won't let you like get too down. He always makes sure you're up. He's just always gonna be a great person, and it's just someone you always want to be around.
He take the extra step to help. He willing to pick you up. He willing to work out with you. He willing to help you. He's a great friend. He willing to help anyone.
As a friend, he's a great guy. He's someone who's gonna always have your back.
The coaches look at him to show everybody else what to do.
He shows a lot of loyalty to his friends, the brotherhood we got there, and not just like individuals, but the whole Cedar show, like our whole program and what we stand for.
He willing to help others when help is needed.
More than anything, he has character. He's just a great person, just a great individual overall.
Since the beginning of the football season, Cedar journalism students have been broadcasting the varsity football home games. Alex Soto and I helped out. This year, in partnership with the UGA Sports Journalism Department, Cedar journalism students have had the opportunity to gain experience with sports broadcasting by live streaming football games.
Before the season started, twice a week we'd come out and first just kind of get everybody familiar with the equipment and kind of the aspects of broadcasting, and then once the season started, the goal has been to be less and less hands-on, so basically just to be here to put out any fires if anything goes wrong with the equipment technology, and kind of let everybody else do their thing.
While a great opportunity to try something new, this program could give students hoping to pursue a job in sports broadcasting a huge advantage.
We noticed in our program when we have students apply to it, some students have a lot more experience from high school than others do, and it tended to be that students who come from high schools that have broadcast programs, sports broadcast programs, they had all this experience and they knew they wanted to do this as a career, whereas students who came from high schools that didn't have these programs didn't have any experience and didn't even know about this as a possible career path. So for us, we thought, well, maybe we can find a way to help high schools who maybe don't have as much money as some of these really wealthy schools to kind of get in there and provide help them start a broadcast program. And so we figured, let's look close to UGA first and foremost, and obviously within Clark County you have a couple of schools, and so that's why we kind of wanted to get started locally.
Mrs. Johnson, who has watched some of the live streams, is impressed.
I can just imagine how hard they worked. First of all, to broadcast anything has to be tricky. Getting everything set up with, with the camera and the audio, and I wouldn't know the first thing about it, but to have a high school student learn those skills of how to broadcast anything is, that's a great skill to have.
Within this program, students have different roles and therefore learn a different variety of skills.
My role in the broadcast program is to work on the computer. So when I'm doing that, I'm working on the little graphic pieces that come up on the screen. I'm changing the quarters, changing the time, and all the graphics that show up on the screen is done by the computer.
So before the games, I'll talk to the coaches, find keys to the game, help put those graphics together. Then for the entire game, I watch. Either I do play-by-play, where during the play, I just call out what's happening, where the ball is moving, or color, where after the game I analyze the play and say how it broke down, how it succeeded, what went wrong for this team, what went wrong for that team.
Well, for computer, it's really hard just staying like exactly as what the game is, because the timer will stop, you won't know it stopped, you'll be a few seconds ahead, you got to go back and change it. Just keeping up with the downs, keeping up with the score, just like making sure everything on the computer matches what's on the scoreboard and what's actually happening in the game.
The camera, it's really fun. All you have to do is basically keep up with the ball. At first, I had trouble like knowing when to zoom in and when not to, but we've kind of learned like less is more, you know.
There's so many different parts that people probably don't realize go into live broadcasting and live streaming a football game. Well, you have to have 2 people announcing, you have to have someone doing soundboard, you have to have someone have the stuff like all running good, you have to have someone on the computer, you have to have someone filming it. If it's raining, you have to have someone holding an umbrella. You have to have someone keeping all the stats, everything that happens. You have to have someone that knows all the names. You have to have someone that's keeping everyone in check, making sure they're doing their jobs. You have to have backup people ready to like step in for other people at times.
With hard work, there is improvement and even some fun.
I feel like I'm better at having a reaction time when working with computers and graphics and stuff, like able to change it quicker and stuff like that.
I guess it kind of gave me like my first taste of actual journalism, you know. We've never done anything live before. I didn't know how any of this kind of stuff worked.
My favorite part about the program is just getting to learn about what the professionals actually do, because it may be something I'm interested in. So it's cool to see me and my friends get to do stuff by ourselves. You know, it's us and UGA students, so we're controlling all this, and it's really cool to see what happens backstage.
I kind of am able to formulate what I want to say faster than I used to.
The best part has been the enthusiasm that we were met with. We came back in April and met with one of Mr. Ginsburg's classes, and they were so excited. Everybody was asking really great, insightful questions, and then when we actually started the thing in August, everybody was ready to learn, so eager to learn. They're just asking constantly, how do I get better? What do you think about this? How can we make another thing better? And then once the game starts, that's the best and probably the easiest part, right? You go on cruise control unless anything goes wrong.
I just want to say thank you to the people at UGA who helped us and came out here and like really showed us how to do this kind of stuff. At the beginning, like, stuff was so frantic. If it wasn't for them, like, we wouldn't have been able to pull this off.
In the future, there may be more than just football broadcasts.
So we started with football because sort of it's a popular sport and it starts in the fall, but we'd like to, the plan is to continue with basketball, which is obviously coming up pretty soon here in the winter, and then I think we would probably continue with other sports in the spring, whether that's soccer or any other sports that there's interest in.
Now to Bram with other sports news.
I'm Bram Johnson for WJAG-TV Sports News. In football, the Jags played Rome for the second round. After beating Lithonia 41-0, they ended their season losing 35-3 against Rome. There will, however, be 2 postseason games, an All-Star game and a Border Bowl. Playing in both games are Walker, Bankston, Boyd, and Hudson, and playing in only the All-Star game are Gresham, Ingram, and Smith. As football has ended, basketball is just starting. They are currently 2-3, but there are plenty of games left in the season to improve the record.
Feel pretty excited about the season. They, they got their feet wet last year, coming from single A school to a 5A school. So getting the idea of 5A basketball. So feel very excited about them and the entire team and the outlook this year. We have a tough schedule, but we're really looking forward to the season.
Well, so far the season started rough, but I feel like we can, we take enough time to practice and actually work on what we need to get done. I think we'll be straight. We'll be good.
Just getting fundamentally better, improving each kid individually and what we do as a team. And, of course, our defense is one of the main things we like to focus on or whatever. So, just pretty much, just implementing, what we want to do, and just being the best version of ourselves we can be.
Well, one of our goals since last year is make it to the state championship. That's one goal that I myself really want to get to. but our expectations are really high, especially from Coach Thomas. Like, you know, his 3 pet peeves is you know, work hard, give 100%, or give it your all until you have nothing left, and to just have fun overall.
Well, #1 goal is always to win the state championship. We still have not really sat down and set team goals yet, but that's the one goal that we definitely have and that we always talk about. You know, next week or so we'll sit down and talk about what we want to accomplish as a team.
Well, my goals for the season is to, 1, make it to state championship and win the state championship, and, you know, just to do something that's never been done here before for the boys team, and to really just, you know, help all my rest of my teammates develop and, you know, reach the highest, you know, just get as good as they can get, and just push them to be the best that they can be.
Just becoming more of a family, develop leaders, and just, you know, improve on what we did. You know, last year we won 10 games, so we want to improve on that.
As the juniors, as many juniors that we have, that's a lot of leadership to, you know, guide the upcoming freshmen, everybody who's moving up on the team, you know, just to help them be a leader and get them through the season.
We just try to teach them every aspect of the game that we can, and hopefully that helps them become a more well-rounded basketball player. And you know, we try to leave no stone unturned. We try to teach them every aspect of the game, and increase their knowledge and increase you know, the way, you know, their level of play. Oh, everything, yeah, the whole well-rounded kid, student athlete, yes, most definitely. You know, the academic piece is the most important.
For sports this week, wrestling has a match as the Classic City Tournament at North Oconee on December 5th. The girls JV basketball team will be playing December 7th, and both JV teams will be playing December 8th at home. That's all for WJAG-TV. This is Bram Johnson.
Jags recently donated $100 to Coach Julie Evans for the Special Olympics. Let's go to Alex Soto to find out more.
During their Thanksgiving feast, the Hot Jags students donated $100 to their coach Julie Evans. The money will allow the students to attend the Special Olympics in Atlanta in January and May.
It's amazing. All of our funds come through just donations, so every dollar that's raised for Special Olympics goes directly to the students. I come here 3 times a week and see them for group class, and then I come another day of the week to see them for their one-on-ones.
Everett Walker presented the $100 check to Coach Julie Evans.
And the Hot Jags made a decision about donating $100 for you. For Special Olympics.
In college, I took a class and fell in love with it. It was an adept PE class, and it's lots of hands-on work with the kids. And that's the part that I really enjoy, is getting to know the kids and getting to work with them and see their progress. I think the job found me, and I've loved it ever since. And this is year number 16.
Broderick Flanagan is a local artist who will be painting a mural here at Cedar Shoals. Jake Gunterman had a chance to meet him.
Miss Laura Lee Johnson and Miss Katie Baker Johnson have teamed up with Broderick Flanagan to create a mural for Cedar Shoals.
They knew that I had a program that was geared towards, you know, working with teenagers and showing them public art. I created a whole initiative around it, really. It's called HARPS, Helping Art Reach Public Spaces. And it was just a way for me to kind of expand some of the programs I was doing for youth here at my studio, but also to brand it in a way that could grow in recognition and whatnot. So that became the umbrella that the mural arts program for teenagers fell up under. And I guess they, you know, saw that work and then wanted to collaborate with me on doing a mural at Cedar.
Since I've been here, I realized the need, especially after the school got painted. It kind of depressed the whole vibe of the school, and that was the first year I taught here. There's tons of studies about the psychological impacts of color on our mind. I think that a big goal for our school for a long time has been to improve school spirit, to improve the quality of how it feels to be in this building. And I think you can do that through color, through art. So I'm super excited that we're going to get to do this.
Flanagan accredits his artistic upbringing to his mother.
My mom, she was not a professional artist, but I would like watch her and try to emulate what she did sometimes. So she would sketch and draw clouds or one-point perspectives and stuff like that, like buildings and whatnot. So she taught me actually how to do some of that stuff, and I would just, sit there and practice and try to perfect it. Some of the things that she's able to create and do is just kind of amazes me sometimes, like given her limited background in art. But that's the beauty of art, though. You don't have to have like a traditional or formal background in art to make art or to create something.
Input of student ideas going into the mural is vital to create an expressive and representative work of art.
I kind of go into the process with almost like a blank slate, and then I let the youth mostly lead the idea generation part. And then I just kind of take what they give me as like feedback or ideas, and I may add, some of my own personal elements from there. So a lot of times, I'm just kind of taking what they bring forward and just either adding a little piece to it or, just kind of expressing what I feel like they were trying to convey in their, thoughts or ideas. So, yeah.
I just want it to be super inspiring, whatever it is. I want it to be student generated. I think that we've tossed around ideas about the history of Cedar Shoals and trying to show some school spirit through the imagery. But what that looks like needs to really come from you guys.
A Google form has been sent to all students, giving everyone the opportunity to provide ideas for the mural.
Now let's go to Olivia now with Word on the Shoals.
Bit nasty.
Yeah, what? What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Word at the Shows. Currently, I am in a recycling bin, but that is completely okay. Okay, you guys, let's get right to the questions.
Jared Jones.
All right. So what I'm going to do is play this song, and then you're going to guess what the name of the song is. Okay? Okay, here goes.
Pull Up by G Herbo.
What was it?
Pull Up by G Herbo.
That is correct.
Kaylin Johnson. Kyla Connor. Madison Moore.
Okay, you guys. Basically, what I'm about to do is play a song on my phone, and y'all got to guess it. And whoever gets it right first wins. She tried to say it. What you hear about?
Pull Up by G Herbo.
Okay. Hold up. What you say?
Not a fan of G Herbo, so.
Hater.
You never heard it?
Hey, I'm Devonta Morrison. I am in 11th grade.
I'm Jakiah Vine. I'm in 11th grade.
Okay, so basically what I'm about to do is play a song, instrumental, and y'all have to guess it as quick as you can.
Mobama.
No.
Hi, I'm Zuri Johnson.
Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is play this instrumental, and then you have to tell me what's the name of the song. Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know the name. But I know the song, I just don't know the name.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay, what is up, you guys? What is up, gang? All right, you guys, so basically I'm going to play a song, and it's going to be instrumental. Y'all have to guess what the name of the song is, okay? Y'all ready?
Right Back by Armani Trey.
What's your name?
QC.
Seen Little Baby Close Friend, right?
Yeah. What was it?
Little Baby Close Friend.
Yeah. Okay, basically what I'm going to do is play this instrumental, and you have to guess what the song is.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on!
To me, it sounded like Ghostbusters at first.
Ghostbusters?
Yeah. Da 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 da.
It's Michael Jackson,
Dang,
Fritz.
which song?
Beat it. Say y'all names.
I'm Denaya. I'm Kiasia.
Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is play an instrumental, and y'all have to guess the name of the song. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa.
What was it?
Black and Yellow. Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa.
Thanks, y'all. All right, so can you state your name?
Aaron.
Okay, so basically I'm going to play this instrumental, and you have to guess what the name of the song is. You ready?
Yeah.
Here it goes.
Okay, I know the remix.
Yeah, this it.
Lil Durk. No zone. No. Some.
Record it.
Hold up. Stop waiting.
For our final story, Jocelyn Clark investigated disciplinary referrals, restorative justice, and the ISS system here at Cedar.
Throughout the country, schools are implementing new programs to reduce the number of disciplinary referrals for all students, especially African American males. In 2017, here at Cedar, there were 324 students who received a total number of 947 disciplinary referrals. Out of those referrals, only 10.5% received OSS. 83% of the referrals were given to African Americans. However, only 56.2% of the student body is Black, meaning that African American students are being disciplined more harshly than other subgroups.
Disproportionality refers to a certain subset of students receiving more disciplinary behavior referrals than others. And so in our school and in Clark County, the overwhelming majority of students who are in our discipline pipelines are African American males.
It's also a problem in the criminal justice system. Minorities are overrepresented in prisons, and the punitive discipline system has been linked to what they call the school to prison pipeline.
Disproportionality is a systemic nationwide issue, and one of the biggest problems that I see is, with my research, is disproportionality. So when you look at the fact that African American males by far are receive more ISS and OSS, exponentially, in exponential numbers that are larger than some of their other peers, there's certainly a disproportionality issue across the board.
To address the issue, Cedar Shoals and other schools are considering programs such as restorative justice, a model that is aimed at helping students to learn from their mistakes while also holding them accountable for how their actions affect others.
So when I think about restorative justice, I think about an alternative way to resolving conflict, and it might not be the way that we were taught or raised to.
It means basically coming together as a family, realizing that we got to accept our differences as humans, and that's our role.
Well, what does it mean to me? Anytime I often have this conversation with students when we're talking about restorative circles, but in order to restore something, it means that it's probably somewhat broken or eroded.
Restorative justice means a better way to relate to students, to instead of punishing students, to actually teach students how to make better choices, how to interact with other humans in a better way. Also, it's about how to set up community and how to try to avoid conflict before conflict arises.
At Cedar Shoals, the efforts to curb disproportionality through a restorative justice model has started with revamping the ISS program. Whereas last school year, many students received disciplinary referrals for minor disciplinary infractions. Aaron Carter believes that the number is decreasing.
Basically, our ISS program is a restorative program that we put in place. It's actually been in place in our system here at Cedar Shoals since August 7th. Number one, we brought in a new staff member. He does intake with kids, he counsels students, and he kind of keeps track of them for the next few weeks after their time in there just to make sure they make a transition back. The typical consequence for a student is 3 to 5 days OSS, but when they go home, they get no support, they fall behind on grades, they never get the opportunity to really talk about what happened in order to really kind of be restored, if you will.
Cedar Shoals teachers, counselors, and administrators are hopeful that these new efforts will more effectively address smaller problems with students before larger ones erupt.
As far as our society, you know, we've got a lot of issues, discipline across racial groups. That's certainly a problem across the nation.
For society to evolve and mature, it's very, very, very important for us to understand that we have our own mind and our own being, and we're all different people, and that difference needs to explode culture.
We really grow up in a punitive system, so usually it's when someone does something bad or criminal or hurts someone else, there's a consequence. Well, this is really kind of shifting that paradigm completely as to opening up a conversation, talking about why something happened, how it impacted everybody, and what we can do to really repair the harm that was done.
The society of this school, and I think in a larger society, I think is important because we often have conflicts, especially in school, and those conflicts get swept under the rug and then they resurface later, and nobody has really addressed those problems.
Essentially, teachers really want the best for their students, socially and academically. Administrators and teachers tweaked the ISS system to see if it would help reduce the amount of disciplinary referrals given at Cedar. For WJAG-TV, this has been Jocelyn Clark.
That seems to be all for today.
I'm Havivah Saltz.
And I'm Olivia Duever.
And this has been WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.